and I too listen to Don Lemon, and on CNN.
Right.
My mother was an MSNBC believer, and she was a big Obama fan, and told me that President Obama would be in, and he was mixed, and my granddaughter's mixed, and the man that went to get my dinner, this is, I would say, predominantly white. I don't know statistically, but I hope the disclaimer played tonight on the show. But he's black, and my granddaughter is half his, and she is beautiful skinned. The browning of America, before Mother didn't even know that her granddaughter was going to be half black. I don't believe. I don't remember, but Mother passed. Well, maybe she did, yeah, because let's see, Kaylee just turned 13, and so Mother died in 2011. So yeah, so she must have been born. So it's hard for me to remember that because I miss my mom. She's on the other side, like Karen said, maybe in heaven. But speaking just
he's
mostly
probably right with you.
Well, no, that's fine. I love all the people on the other side that have left us in this dimension paradigm. But I would like somehow to see in my lifetime that the change for the global good, for national security, military security, and no matter what color, red, yellow, black, and white, he is precious in his sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. I had to learn that as a little girl.
Can you hear that timer?
No, but okay,
Can you hear the
stop.
timer?
You may know where to shut that.
Okay, thank you. Let me add that. Okay, let me stop it. Okay. How do you stop it?
Okay.
There we go.
I'm
okay.
sorry I interrupted.
I got it now. Yeah. Well, we're not supposed to talk over each other. We're learning how to. The exercise is to learn two things: not to talk over the other people, to let them say they're full, and to be aware how long-winded we all are. We all think everything we say is so important. We just keep talking. So just be aware of. It's kind of like when, like you said, Madam Speaker, the Congress, they get them 10 minutes, and you get 10 minutes, and then they put the gavel down, your time is up. And if they yield they go, I yield to the next person.
On my computer, I started at 7:27, 28, 29, 30, 31. It's just now 7:32, and you took up some of my time, so there. Yeah. I was watching, just so you know.
Timer. I have a 5-minute timer on my iPhone, so I'm not looking at a clock. I just hit start, and then it goes bloop, bloop. Okay, so
and I don't
go back
I'm just watching a real clock. I don't even know how to see the time. So
okay, so I'm trusting Mr. Apple here. So I apologize if Mr. Apple's not correct, but I'm doing Mr. Apple. So okay, so now we're passing the talking stick to me, and I'm going to hit start, and it's set at 5 minutes, and I have no idea what I'm going to say. Okay, here we go. So that was great, ladies. So, I'm so moved by what's been going on all week. It's been 3-4 months. I quarantined myself early on with the COVID because the ship, the Princess liner, came through, and everybody got off in all 4 major islands. And by the time they got to San Francisco, there were 3,000 people in lockdown in the harbor. And they had, lots of cases, and nobody was letting them on shore. And I went to my husband. I said, "Oh my God, this is it's here in Maui." And I knew there was a delay. They were saying 14 days, but it. I think, and I'm getting some research that it started much earlier. I've had some reports from different people, and they say, I had this thing in November of last year, and I had it in October, and I had it in December. So that was before it broke out in China. So I don't know if we're ever going to get that truth, but there's something that's not being told us. But what really concerned me when everybody started to march was, first of all, I was afraid that they would get hurt because I went through this in 1968, and I'm writing up a short story on how racism has affected me. Can somebody put their phone on mute while somebody else is talking, because I'm getting a lot of feedback. So anyway, or their speaker on mute. So I was afraid. In '68, when Martin Luther King died, I think it was spring, April of 1968, there were 3 places in Pittsburgh that went up in fire. And a few days after the major riots stopped, I walked down with a girlfriend through a district that was still smoldering, thinking that it was not safe to do that. But we decided to do it for some reason, and I just followed her blindly. And nothing happened, and everything was fine. But I remembered Kent State. I remembered the '60s. I remember people getting hurt, and I was very concerned about that. And so I tweeted. I'm following all these threads. You know, I get Pelosi, I get Trump, I get all these people on tweet. I follow them, and so their threads come into my phone or my iPad, and then I will tweet back. Sometimes I'll just retweet because I agree with what they're saying, and sometimes I'll add my 2 cents. So what I did was I said, please, I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want to see more killing. I just hate violence now at 66 years of age. It's like it hurts me when someone else gets hurt. I guess I'm so connected to spirituality and consciousness. Like, it's almost personal when someone else gets hurt. And so I said, we, back in the day, used to sing Martin Luther King's We Shall Overcome, back in the 60s and 70s for the Vietnam era and all the people getting assassinated back then. We would do, there were all kinds of peace songs. And I said, please just Google the peace songs, start with Martin Luther King's We Shall Overcome, and add a couple of peace songs, bring some guitars in, and then please don't keep walking up to the police, because I saw what they were doing in Washington. They were going up to the police, and the police were backing up, and it was like, you know, somebody's going to panic. Usually somebody, or a provocateur at Kent State just came in and shot the first shot, and within seconds there were 4 beautiful young people dead. And then, of course, they had that song, 4 Dead in Ohio, by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. So I was just terrified that there was going to be another incident of that, and I'm sure we're going to get those stories. But then yesterday I looked and I saw somebody singing We Shall Overcome, followed by a peace song, and everybody was sitting down, and some of them even laid down because they do that I Can't Breathe. So they stopped being aggressive towards the police. So, and then the police, it's like you can't fight fire. You have to really, at some point, just feel like Gandhi. Gandhi was passive, not aggressive, and of course, those riots were in, he was passive. Okay, I am done. I will pass the talking stick to Karen. Of course, you can do your own subject or answer this. Over to you, Karen.
I need to think about this. I can continue a little bit with this. I think it's very important. I think that it's the old song by Jackie DeShannon, What the World Needs Now is Love. That came to me just now. And we really do. And the hurting, and for the children that are coming up in the world right now, the babies, the children, and they're coming into a very hard time. I've had a couple of parents that are my patient clients, and were worried about this very subject, about their grandchildren. And I said, well, I know it's really, from the earth level, it's really hard. It's really terrible what about school will be opening pretty soon and so forth, and how do children do with masks and this, that, and the other. And I said, well, I can see how you feel that way. But I feel that these children, everything is divine, but by what I believe and what I see. It didn't just happen this way. There's a reason that these particular children are here at this time. And I think they're strong, probably stronger than we were, and can handle it, and are here because it's supposed to be, and they will be protected. And I do believe that this is going to come to an end. I feel like that we're going to get past this. But that's what's so important, to take everybody let people learn how to be multidimensional, those places where we can't see physically, and learn how to work there, and we can get the results down here in the physical. It's called synchronicities. It's kind of like connecting the dots and seeing the picture, or having a crossword puzzle and seeing the pieces as you put together, and it makes a picture. And so eventually this will happen. So you'll have your validation from the physical plane about the information you were working on and got from the invisible, from the dimensions you can't see, we'll call it that, higher consciousness levels. And I think that that's important. But in order for people to do it, you can't just understand it. I know people right now who understand it extremely well, and in many ways better than me. But they don't live it. But you have to live it and work it to live in order to have the results come out on the physical plane. And so I think it's important, because I think a lot of the repetition we see over and over again about these race riots and the police and abuse and all the confusion and chaos, it just continues like a circle over and over and over again. And so we need to step out into these other levels and learn, but have a desire, because unless you have a desire to seek or ask questions, you don't do it, because you believe in what you see on the physical plane. And so that's what I think is important to do, is to, I know I'm working with some of my students right now through art, like art therapy, and just telling them, in fact, and we do it virtually. I'll just say, take a sketchboard, take a sketch pad, and just, get 3 Sharpie colors and just give yourself 3 minutes and just do a quick picture. It's not a piece of art. It will be, could be. And they do it, and it's amazing what comes out from their thoughts that they can see from that they created. So I'm just thinking of ways that I can help the people who are coming to me, and who you all, I know you all help a lot of people. Janet, I mean, you're fantastic, and so are you, TJ, my goodness. I mean, my students just love to listen to this, to our show, because we're real. I try to be real. I mean, I don't want to be phony. I can't stand it. We have to be normal and real, and, we're here. So that's all I have to say. I know it sounds like I'm repeating the same thing, and I am, because probably I feel very, very passionate about this whole thing. It's time to wake up, because pretty soon there's going to be something even bigger come in, and we need to give them a peaceful awakening, a peaceful welcome, and those are our ET friends. They will come in the physical, but let's give them a good soft landing, okay?
Okay, that was perfect.
Okay.
Out of time. Okay, you're done. Okay, TJ, passing the talking stick to you. You can continue the topic or choose another one. Here we go.
All right. Well, I lived in Kentucky, folks, and barbecue is a big, big deal when I lived in Texas. And also, I found it odd in Kentucky. So one year I sponsored chili cook-off, 2003, with another girl, Judy McIntyre. Anyway, she was in the Air Force and I was in the Navy, but we got a lot of press, television stuff, because we did it for the county, and I got my first nonprofit. The federal government said, because I was doing it as a event for the county, or in the county at the park, that I'd get a nonprofit. So we had our first ACE nonprofit, and recognized by the federal government. Of course, I met a gentleman named David McAtee. I think he was from Atlanta, but he was called the Barbecue Man. But I had, not just for chili cook-off, but he reminded me, I don't know how he found out about me, but he wanted to come to my event. And he called me, make sure he wanted a trophy, because I had barbecue too, and he had a stand he brought over. But he wanted to make sure he got his trophy, so I made sure he got his trophy, real sweet. It's just something they didn't cost me much, and I just paid for them out of my pocket. But he got killed recently, and I'm really sad because he's one of the sweetest black men I'd